Alright, y'all, welcome back now. So we're gonna go Robert Greene, Laws of Human Nature, concise version, of course. We're gonna do the intro, and this is part 2. It's a lengthy intro, man, but that's my guy. So it says, to this day, we humans remain highly susceptible to the moods and emotions of those around us, compelling all kinds of behavior on our part, unconsciously imitating others, wanting what they have, getting swept up in viral feelings of anger or outrage. We imagine we're acting of our own free will, unaware of how deeply our susceptibility to the emotions of others in the group is affecting what we do and how we respond. That's why I always talk about your circle, who you're around. What we can point to other such forces that emerge from this deep past and that similarly mold our everyday behavior. For instance, our need to continually rank ourselves and measure our self-worth through our status is a trait that is noticeable among all hunter-gatherer cultures and even among chimpanzees, as are our tribal instincts, which cause us to divide people into insiders or outsiders. We can add to these primitive qualities our need to wear masks to disguise any behavior that is frowned upon by the tribe, leading to the formation of a shadow personality from all the dark desires we have repressed. Our ancestors understood this shadow and its dangerousness, imagining it originated from spirits and demons that needed to be exorcised. We rely on a different myth. Something came over me. Once this primal current or force within us reaches the level of consciousness, we have to react to it, and we do so depending on our individual spirit and circumstances. Usually explaining it away superficially without really understanding it because of the precise way in which we evolve. There are a limited number of these forces of human nature, and they lead to behavior mentioned above: envy, grandiosity, irrationality, short-sightedness, conformity, aggression, and passive aggression, to name a few. They also lead to empathy and other positive forms of human behavior. And for thousands of years, it has been our fate to largely grope in the shadows when it comes to understanding ourselves and our own nature. We have labored under so many illusions about the human animal, imagining we descended magically from a divine source, from angels instead of primates. We have found any signs of our primitive nature in our animal roots deeply distressing, something to deny and repress. We have covered up our darker impulses with all kinds of excuses and rationalizations, making it easier for some people to get away with the most unpleasant behavior. But finally, we're at a point where we can overcome our resistance to the truth about who we are through the sheer weight of knowledge we have now accumulated about human nature. Consider the laws of human nature, a kind of code book for deciphering people's behavior, ordinary, strange, destructive, the full gamut. Each chapter deals with a particular aspect or law of human nature. We can call them laws in that under the influence of these elements or forces, we humans tend to react in relatively predictable ways. That is true. Each chapter has ideas on how to deal with yourself and others under the influence of this law. Each chapter ends with a section on how to transform this basic human force into something more positive and productive, so that we are no longer passive slaves to human nature, but actively transforming it. Whew. You might be tempted to imagine that this knowledge is a bit old-fashioned. After all, you might argue, we are now so sophisticated and technologically advanced, so progressive and enlightened. We have moved well beyond our primitive roots. We are in the process of rewriting our nature, but the truth is in fact the opposite. We have never been more in the thrall of human nature and its destructive potential than now. By ignoring this fact, we are playing with fire. I'm going to do a part 3 of this intro because there's still a lot to go, but I'm going to leave y'all with that. This is Robert Greene, Laws of Human Nature. This is just the intro. It's deep, man, and he just talks about our primitive nature. And, in modern times, in modern society, it's all covered. And, like he always say, you wear the iron hand under the velvet glove. So a lot of passive aggressiveness, a lot of people live behind these screens. And in the real world, you can see the primitive nature come out in people. And this book gives you details on that, how to avoid it, certain things, and how to understand certain things more than anything, and how to understand yourself. This is deep. I am Richard Wilson. This is Robert Greene, Laws of Human Nature, Part 2, Introduction. Part 3 on the way. More videos on the way. Thank y'all. I'll see y'all soon.